So actually, the thing that annoyed me the most about this film is that it didn't have a line as good as, you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? Same thing that happens to everything else. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I'm Ewan McQuaid, and today we are talking about the new Netflix film Bruised, starring Halle Berry and directed by Halle Berry. Now the story of this film focuses on a disgraced UFC fighter who, due to circumstances that I don't want to spoil just yet, her child, comes into her life and she has to now support that child, getting back in the ring, getting back in the octagon, and yeah, it's a sort of, how would I describe this? It's unique, it's very weird, Bruised. I think it's unique, but it's familiar. So I don't know how that works. The way in which I feel like it's unique is, I think, the character of Jackie Justice is one of the best characters in these types of films. You know, the sports underdog type of film. You've got your Rockies, Warrior, all of the above boxing films, Creed, another one. And I think she's a really complex and deep character, acted terrifically by Halle Berry. I thought Halle Berry was amazing in this film. I thought her performances in the heartfelt moments, as well as the fight and the physicality that she brings to it, was really good. As was the supporting cast. I thought the acting in the film was really, really great. The bit in which I think it's familiar is that it takes that character and puts her in a world in which sports movie tropes, you know, they plague the film. It is a typical sports film. It even has the spoilers. No, I'm not going to go into spoilers. I nearly did. I'm trying to figure out how to talk about it without spoiling it. But no, I thought it was a really strong outing for Halle Berry, particularly in her acting. I think directing was a bit strange. I think the tone was weirdly inconsistent, mainly with the choices of music. There were two sequences in particular in which the choices of music were either a bit on the nose or just didn't pack the emotional punch that it should have. One of those is a montage scene, I will say that. And as someone who loves the montage scenes from Rocky IV, the greatest Rocky film of all time, it had a lot to live up to. So, on the whole, I think the character stuff was really good in this film. I thought the characters were great. All the acting, terrific. Now if we get onto the integration of UFC, MMA into the film, I think it's great that they acknowledge UFC as a whole, because that would be weird if it didn't exist, same way in which Warrior did, the film starring Tom Hardy. But it's not the driving force behind this. UFC is just, or MMA rather, is just a way to get the character on that journey. If she wasn't a fighter, it could have been told with another sport, and I quite like that. I like that it wasn't so, you know, guiding audiences into the moves, into the transitions, into all the rules of UFC. No, it is just, her character could be in any occupation, but she is a fighter. And I think that comes through a lot, particularly in some of the scenes with her deadbeat manager. They were pretty hard hitting to watch, and I think there's a lot of drama surrounding her and her mother, which is, again, hard hitting. I can't praise the characters in this film enough. I really, really loved all the characters. It was the execution, more or less, that bothered me. But, you know, Halle Berry, I'm not sure if she's directed anything. I think this is her first feature. And I think it's really strong. I think it's really promising. So, on the whole, I would recommend Bruised. I really would. I think it's an interesting take on mixed martial arts, as well as sort of propelling women's mixed martial arts, which seemed like it was on a boom, and sort of, you know, it's bubbling a little bit, but I think it really explores the dynamic and the pressures that women have to deal with in the sport and stuff like that. So yeah, I would give this film a solid 3.5 out of 5. It wasn't Warrior, which is the peak of sort of all sports films for me, But I think it's a really solid entry in getting mixed martial arts back out there onto the big screen. So let me know your thoughts if you've seen Bruised down in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.